Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're just joining us, my name is Mayowaoye. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this simple dress with the balloon ruffle hem. So sit back, relax, and before you proceed into the tutorial proper, kindly tap the subscribe button below your screen and tap the like button also. So guys, today's tutorial will be based mostly on sewing, and that's because I've already made a similar dress, something similar to this dress before, and I already have the cutting tutorial in that video. So if you would like to know how to cut today's dress, everything that has to do with today's dress, and the puffy part below, that is the drop waist part with the puff, with the gathered puff, just check out that tutorial. It's linked right on top of your screen right now, so you check it out. So today's tutorial will be based mostly on how to sew this dress, putting it together and all of that. However, there is a slight difference between this dress and that other dress in the other tutorial. The other dress in the other tutorial, it's more of like a panel, that is the dart is more of like a princess panel dart, but for this I'm just using the regular waist dart. So you already know, if you have been following my tutorials like ever since, like before now, you would know that I don't teach how to draft basic bodice blocks. This is something that I teach in my private classes. I teach beginners how to draft basic bodice blocks, not just basic bodice blocks, and all the other essential blocks of pattern drafting. So I don't do that on YouTube. Now when you get your basic bodice block, you still need to do some adaptations into whatever design you want to make, and that design adaptation is what you'll be finding in the tutorial I linked earlier. So yeah, let's move straight into today's sewing tutorial. And this is the pattern I used to cut my dress. This is the neckline. So I just chopped off about, I think, 2 inches from my shoulder, and this is what it is for the front. Ignore everything that is here. So the length from the shoulder down here down to the cut here is 30 inches. So at this point, I'm going to be joining the ruffle parts as you can see in the design picture. So this is my sleeve block. I also don't teach that on YouTube. It's a private tutorial. So this is the sleeve I'll be using for this dress also, and my sleeve length is about 25 inches. So just measure your sleeve length, draft your sleeve block, and that will be that. So it's just a regular basic sleeve. There's really no much adaptation to do to this. So this is my cutout fabric. I already cut. This is the one for the front, and I already also marked in my darts. I'm using this black fabric. It's quite stretchy, you can see. Point to note, just in case I didn't mention that earlier, I used about 3 yards to cut everything, so you probably need about 3 yards also if you want to cut yours. So this is the back, so my back pieces, and this is the facing I'm going to be using to turn my neckline and all of that. So I also cut the facing for the front too. And this is my sleeve also cut out. And yeah, this is the piece I'm going to be using for the ruffle parts. This is about I think 54 inches. All you need to do, I already explained it in that tutorial I linked earlier, but all you need to do is to just measure what you have. So this is my front. All you need to do is to measure what you have, like from here to here at the hem of your dress. So whatever you have, for me this is about 19 to 20 inches. So you can either multiply it by 2 or by 3 depending on how much fabric you have. So me, I just settled for using about 54 inches because I think my fabric was already finishing. So 20 times 3 is 60. I didn't have up to 60, so I just settled for 54 inches. So everything here is 54 inches, and the length from here to here is about 12.5 inches. Now still on the ruffle part, since I want my I want my ruffle length, the length of my ruffle, to be 7.5 inches, and this is 12.5 inches. What I did was just to cut my lining. So I reduced my lining by about, I think, 5 inches. So everything from here to here is that 7.5 inches. So you can see the full length of the ruffle fabric is 12.5 inches. This is the actual fabric. Then the lining, I reduced the lining by 5 inches, so I have 7.5 inches, because that is what I want my actual ruffle length to be when I'm done sewing. I'll show you how I'm going to achieve that later when I'm sewing. So pretty much that's that. So the width of the ruffle fabric is 54 inches, the length right now is 12.5 inches, and the length of the lining is 7.5 inches. So now let's move straight to sewing. Don't forget, for a more detailed explanation of the cutting, just watch the tutorial I linked earlier, just so you don't get confused. Now to sewing. The first thing I'm going to do is to sew my dart. So I already marked the darts here, so all I have to do is to just pick the dart, and then I'll sew this way, then this way on my sewing machine. So this here, and then this here. Then I'll do the same for the other darts. So when I'm done, I'm going to pick up my facing. This is my facing for the front. Now I'm going to place it right sides together, and then I'm going to sew the neckline. By the time I sew the neckline, I'll turn this inside. Let me just pin the neckline. So yeah, this is my facing on my fabric. So let's say I've sewn the neckline like this, and it's right sides together. What you need to do now is to turn this inside. So when you turn it inside, place it this way, and then you begin to top stitch. You top stitch this. You top stitch the neckline round like this on the facing. So this top stitching will be right on the facing. So when you are done, it goes in, the facing goes in, then you iron your neckline flat. So pretty much that's that. So I'm going to be doing that now, and then I'll do the same also for the back piece, and then I'll show you what to do next. So yeah, this is it done. Got this smooth neckline, and these are my darts right here. Now we just need to attach the shoulders. So this is the front, turning it to the right side. So yeah, I've placed the back and front right sides together. Now to join the shoulders, I'm going to align the two, that is the back and the front. I'll align them. Now I'm going to pick up this. I'll pick one, this facing on top here. Then I'm going to turn it right around here. So by the time I turn it right around, I'll open this up like this, and then I'll sew. So I'm going to now sew the shoulders like this, half inch, half inch. I hope you got the drift. So when I'm done, I'll do the same for the other shoulders too. And so this is the shoulders done. You can see that. And now the shoulders are done. You can see, smoothly done. So now I'm going to attach the sleeves. I'll attach one sleeve. You can see I already notched the center of my sleeve curve. So I already notched it. So I'm going to place that notched part on this part here, right sides together. And then I'll sew this way, and then I'll bring this also this way. So you can see my sleeve is marked. So this is the front curve of my sleeve, and this is the back curve of my sleeve. So I'm going to match it up. So the front curve comes to the front of my dress, and the back curve goes to the back part of my dress. So yeah, I'm just going to do all of that now, and then I'll do the same for the second sleeve and we'll move straight to the next thing. So guys, I've attached my sleeve, but I haven't sewn the sides yet, so that will be later, like at the end of the sewing process. So yeah, I also went to the hem of my sleeve, and then I also like turned it inside, folded it inside, so, and stitched it up. I got this accessory online, so I'm going to attach it like this to the hem of my sleeve, so right here, just to give it some more detail like that. And do the same for the other side too. Then we move on to the next thing. So guys, this is the sleeve hem done. So I already attached my trimming at the sleeve hem. So now let's move straight to the puffy hem, the dress hem. And guys, this is it already cut out as I've shown you before. Then at the hem here, because I want a kind of curved hem, you see when I'm done, you see what it looks like. So because I want a kind of curved hem here, I'm going to use my chalk, and then I'm going to draw the curve I want, how I want the curve. I'm going to draw it here. So yeah, this is the curved hem right here. I drew the curve all the way to the end right here, so you can see that. Now what I'm going to do is to pick up my lining, because I already cut my lining also, as I've shown you before. So I'll pick up my lining, and then I'll draw the exact same curve I have here. I'll place it over this here. I'll draw the exact same curve that I have here. I'll draw it on my lining. So please note it's going to be right sides together. So this is the right side of my fabric. This is the wrong side of my fabric. So I've drawn the curve on the right side of my fabric, and then I've placed my lining. I don't know the wrong or right side of my lining, so I just placed it anyhow. So I'll just draw the curve again on my lining too. So yeah, this is the lining placed. Now I'm also going to place this horsehair braid or crinoline, whichever one you call it. I'm going to place this on it. So when I'm sewing it together with this. So, and I'll be using a gather stitch. I'll be sewing a gather stitch. So I'll be using a gather stitch to do all of that. So the essence of this is just to make sure the hem of this is going to be structured, the hem of my puff is going to be structured, and is going to remain bouncy. So yeah, I just realized I can't gather it with the crinoline in it, so I have to take out the crinoline and then gather first before attaching the crinoline. So, and now I'm just going to lightly gather it. So the gathering won't be too much, because this is the hem of the fabric, so the gathering won't be too much. So just let's say the whole width of this fabric is about, maybe let's say it is 54 inches, so you can just gather it back to maybe, let's say maybe 40 or 45 inches. So that's for the hem. So I hope you got the drift. So yeah, this is it done. Now I'm going to just turn the lining inside, so the crinoline will be hidden inside also as I turn the lining. So this is the lining. So remember, the lining is shorter than the actual fabric, but I'll have to pull it up. I'll pull it up to the same length as the fabric. So yeah, this is it. Now I'm going to place this on my sewing machine, and then I'm going to sew a straight gather stitch, as I was explaining earlier. So it's only the hem of this that will be like curved, you can see. So it's only the hem that will be curved. The upper part here would be like a straight gather stitch. So I'm going to do that now. I'll sew a straight gather stitch, and then I'll gather it back to the same width as the width of my dress. So this is my dress. I'm going to gather this back to the width of my dress. So I'll gather it back to the width of my dress. This is the bouncy puff hem. So we'll be gathering it back to the hem of the dress. So I hope you got the drift, and then I'll attach it. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, this is it completed. You can see. Now I'm just going to do the exact same thing for the back, and then when I'm done, I'll fix my zipper at the back, and that will be all. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button below your screen, tap the like button also, and turn on the notifications bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming tutorials when I post them. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.